Well, good day, everybody, but there's no one there right now. I got to count on how many people switch on. And there's a lot less people here now because there's only 4 boats out on the course. Oh, one person just popped up. Now they'll start streaming in. One boat rather, not on the course, still under repair in the Falklands, translated 9, but today was their deadline to launch. Not sure exactly how that's going yet, but sometime this afternoon, which is more or less now, they'll be lifting the hull and putting it back in the water, I believe. And then the ship that has that big crane will depart. So hopefully they've sorted out the external repairs. And then once it's in the water, it'll be a case of carrying on with that internal repairs while they the crew re-rig the boat and repack it and then get their boat out to sea and up here. So we'll watch that with interest. As Marco says, he's going to race Explorer. That'll be an interesting challenge. So see who gets here first. Anyway, and the tweaks are all pretty standard. The interesting one from Evrika, they've been right in on the coast and they talk about a mosquito cloud. And I'm wondering whether it's real mosquitoes or whether it's a French translation of maybe some cumulonimbus or, Psilostratus or whatever. I'm not sure. But anyway, and they said they're getting here as quick as they can. And he's right. The weather is not helping them at all. Same with White Shadow. Anyway, White Shadow seems to be happy playing with whales and bits and pieces and seeing things. So, and Explorer is actually slowly bearing down on Sterner. So that's interesting. Imagine if they weren't last. Interesting prospect. So we'll just get straight into it, I think. Plenty of activity here, of course. I think the champions are Spirit of Helsinki. As soon as they arrived off the boat, and there was quite a few that really didn't get sleep for 24 hours, parties have begun. And then with 3 boats yesterday, I believe there was a big combination type party here. So, that's the start of something which will carry on, no doubt. Anyway, all good. The weather's okay, not raining anymore. Let's just go straight to the tracker. Hit that one. You've got the tracker. I've got the tracker. I get on it here. And here we have White Shadow and Evrika. I'll go back here and so you can see how far behind Explorer and Sterner are. Down here, sitting in a hole, not going anywhere in a hurry. Oh, that's not the real-time weather. This is the real-time weather, and you can see there's big patches everywhere. In fact, let's have a look at the whole of the Atlantic right now. It's still not the way it should be in some ways, but it's not so bad either. I think I can make this a bit here. That's better. Okay. So there's Cape Town over there. If you've been following the race for a long time, you'll know we're looking for a big South Atlantic high here, and there is a bit of a one in the middle, and that's creating the trade winds here, but not very strong. These guys will be hoping it builds a bit. Anyway, there's a low pressure just forming here to the northeast of Punta del Este. And when they leave here, head up there, generally speaking, it's meant to be sort of trade winds, hooking a little bit so it's sort of forward of the beam, not hard on the nose, until you get up here somewhere. So it's sort of looking okay. Down here, it's still big holes everywhere, just nothing. And it's making it very difficult. And generally, all the boats that are in here call this a 1,000-mile slog to windward to get to Punta del Este once you turn the corner. And that's sort of about it as well. Anyway, only 4 boats to talk about, so let's get into it. You can see Explorer's got a bit of a shift there. Sterner's had not much wind, and it's going to go into slight headwinds. Anyway, slowed right down. She was doing 6.8 or something in the last 4 hours, now down to 4.2. So obviously the hole has come over there, 149-mile day. And Sterner's now picked up. They were going slower before, but they picked up. So that little low pressure here is forming and maybe moved away already. Anyway, they're doing 5.9 knots now, 144-mile day again. And that's not too bad. Let's see what's going to happen to the weather for them going forward while we're here. So I just click that through. Very light winds again. So Sterner's going to have light staff. Explorer's going to have headwinds. They'll come across, and then they've both got headwinds. This is within the next sort of 12, 18 hours. So here goes their slog, but they're not heavy. This is probably 10 to 15, gusting 20, and probably 1.5 meter seas. So still sort of enjoyable. if you've got to go to windward, it's nice to have about that wind speed because it's not too uncomfortable and not too hard on the boat and crew, but not as good as following breezes. So the first day is pretty slow, and then after that, those headwinds are increasing. So the next couple of days, by then Explorer and Sterner will be up into this. That's getting around 15, 17, gusting 25, something like that. So quite solid headwinds. Anyway, no storms. That's the main thing. So back to Evrika and White Shadow. Evrika came really in on the coast here. They were just off the coast, and that was when they mentioned these mosquito clouds. But now it's all a little bit better. The wind's coming from behind. Evrika's managing to hold 5.8 knots, and they've still done 116 miles in the last 24 hours. Not very fast, really, because they went super slow back here, super slow. But they're on the move now. White Shadow, 6.5 knots. That's the fastest they've been in some time. And that's because it's blowing from behind, and the mast isn't likely to fall forward. So I don't know whether they'd put a spinnaker up. Maybe. They may have gone with full hoist. But that's a southeasterly wind. Quite favourable to see. It'd be quite weak, 101 mile day anyway. And here's the cut. 148 miles to the finish, which isn't very far. Normally that would be 1 day. And Evrika is 161 nautical miles to the finish. All right, so let's look at this and try and come up with an ETA. I don't know whether we're going to get this at that scale. Yes, we are, but you can't see the weather as good. I want to have a look at the weather going forward. So we'll leave it at that scale. Normally 185 miles is not that long at all, but watch what happens to the wind here. So we're coming through. You can see it's still very soft. It's swinging a little bit to the east or southeast there. So that's good. You've got the ability for Evrika. They'll still be sailing in a direct line on that. And then all of a sudden, so this is 4:30 in the morning. So that's about 12 hours from now. 1 o'clock. Yeah, that's exactly 12 hours from now. It's gone to really light and headwinds again. So light headwinds. This is probably only 5, 8, 9 knots. That's all. But it's going to slow them down. So in that 12 hours, they might have moved about 40 miles, 50 miles. And Evrika, for instance, has got 161. So by 1 o'clock in the morning, they'll probably have 100 miles left to go. And so let's just see where that's going to be. If we put it out here. Okay, 55. So they're going to be about there in the next 12 hours and 108 to go. Yeah, so that's about where they'll be, and there's showing no wind there. And White Shadow will be about the same, I reckon. They'll be right there. So that's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Then if we go through here, you can see there's just light headwinds. That's the worst. And it's directly from where they want to go, tacking and so on. So, and then it's going to pick up from the northeast. They could sail that, and that's going to go to 15 to 20 knots. So all in all, 100 miles are going to go very slow for the next 12 hours after 1 o'clock this morning. So I think it's fair to say that the earliest they're likely to arrive will be sometime late tomorrow night. It's sometime late Tuesday night, and it could even be longer than that. Just depends on where they are when this wind increases from the northeast. Okay, so it's still short distance. That's only 140 miles to the finish, but it's going to take them at least until tomorrow night, another 36 hours or something, I reckon, to get there. So the official word will be to our team here that we're not expecting to see them until sometime tomorrow night. And that means another night of full sleep, so that's okay. And down here for Sterner and Explorer, yeah, they've got nothing extraordinary to get them moving fast towards Les Sables d'Olonne for probably at all now. They're going to have headwinds all the way for the next 3-4 days. So I'm thinking before it was around the 24th. Let's look at the distance again for Sterner and Explorer. Okay, Sterner's got 500 miles to go. Normally, you'd say even going slow, that's about 4 days. 4 days, but I think it's going to be 5 days because they're going to have to travel a lot more distance while they're tacking. So that puts Sterner in on the 24th, and I'd say Explorer the day after on the 25th. The restart is on the 5th, There's 29 days in February. It's a leap year this year. I'm not sure what that means all around the world, but I know it's not the time to be born on the 29th of February. You miss out on a lot of birthday presents. But you do stay young for a long time, so that's a bonus. And that would mean that Explorer could get about 9 days, and Sterner maybe 10, something like that, in port. So we don't have to worry about the rankings, the leaderboard. That's just interesting in terms of the fact that we had all the boats finish yesterday, and the adjustments have been made and the penalties applied where they are required for the boats that have existed that are already in, and the others really, Evrika and White Shadow, they're losing out big time. They're side by side on handicap, only a few hours in it, and of course Sterner and Explorer, well, it just simply doesn't matter at the moment. So, but up here, Penjuic, they're holding. Penjuic is currently, that's line on, that's correct, that's what I was saying. Okay, now I'm explaining it. Triana is first place. Penjuic slipped into second place, which is good. Galliano was secured, it's okay. 38-1, and so it goes. Maiden, Spirit of Helsinki, Neptune, Outlaw. So anyway, that's pretty much hard and fast now, and we will put the combined times for leg 1, 2, and 3. So you'll see exactly what's happening there. That's really about it. We'll come back and I'll give you some more breaking news in a minute for all those diehards that are here watching this one. And there's many that aren't because their boats are already in. So if I hit that and I come over here, you get me, and I'll tell you some interesting news now, just for those that stick around forever. What brought that up? Oh, that's what brought it up. Jean-Christophe on White Shadow just referred to a couple of things about rubbish in the water. And Explorer came up with the thing, there's a big fishing fleet and so on. And I know what happened when I sailed up through that part of the world. I always carried a net on a pole. Okay, I had a big net about this big, right, on a long pole, and I was forever scooping up rubbish, which often a couple of times I put it back in the water because this rubbish. So I'll give you one example. There was a bottle there, just a bottle like this, and it'd been in the water for a long time, had lots of goose barnacles and stuff like that. But I just saw the bottle because the barnacles became like a keel. And so when I scooped it up, I brought it up and said, oh, crikey, it's full of little crabs and bits and pieces. There's 2 little fish there. So I put them in a bucket and I said, geez, what am I going to do now? If I throw the fish over and the crab back in, they got nowhere to hang out. And it was a glass bottle, perfectly secure. So I actually relaunched and put it back in the water. And one time I diverted because there was this huge bundle of plastic strapping off packaging, the blue plastic strapping you strap everything down with. And I diverted to go over and pick it up. I drifted across there and got it, picked up, had this big bundle of stuff that I just brought back to port. Anyway, and there's lots of discussions about boats hitting whales. I don't know whether I told you this before or not. Whales and dolphins and all that sort of stuff. It's quite a story. I've been exposed to all of that. So now I'm talking about it. I think I already told people this. We're going to have in 2027 notice of race, a requirement to log all the cetaceans, the whales, dolphins, porpoises, killer whales, all that sort of stuff, places and positions, and then also rubbish that's defined as being a lump of stuff as big as a washing machine or bigger. They'll be able to do anything else they want as well. And I just thought, it's a good statistic to have for all the yachts sailing around the world when we're doing round the world races. There's quite a few around the world races now, so maybe we'll start a trend. But yeah, we're going to start logging everything because it'll be useful data for later on. We should have done it before. Not so relevant for the Gold Globe race because there's never anyone in the cockpit, but certainly for the OGR, when there's someone on the helm all the time, they see things, and we're missing that opportunity. So we'll do that. That just reminded me about something else. Tapio's video. If you haven't seen the song from Vili on Galliano with Secure, there's a post there. It just looked like an ordinary post. And make sure you have a look at it because the song's pretty cool. It was recorded on Galliano with Secure, while they're starting up the coast. But there's some great onboard footage at the end, Southern Ocean stuff, waves crashing in the cockpit and all that sort of cool things. So have a look at that if you haven't seen it. yet. Okay, so g'day, Judy. I've got to catch on to this. And so I'm clicking, not using my mouse. Okay, hi Clara. Yep, 4 boats still to come. Captain Joey. Brazil was first to release GMO mozzies on Earth about 5 years prior to the first case of La Zika virus. That's interesting. Not sure the whole story on that, but that's interesting. Translated 9. Well, I just gave you a bit of an update at the beginning, I think, just saying she should be in the water and going from there. She's not in the rankings at all from leg 3, but she's still in the event. So that means they will be ranked for leg 1, 2, and 4. So they're out of the whole rankings of doing the entire race. It's some other events would say they did not finish for the whole race, but we maintain that each of the legs of the race are counted. So you can be a winner of a line honours winner or an IRC winner on any of the 3 legs, remembering that IRC is the actual real winner. It's just that there's always someone first across the line. So we recognise the first across the line for the whole event, but we only recognise the IRC winner of each class. And at the end of the race, there is only one winner of the whole race, and that's the IRC winner. There's no line honours winner for the whole race. There's only line honours for individual legs. Yes, she's hoping to make leg 4, Ed, so keep an eye out for that. Priceless interview with Canberra on the dock yesterday. Thanks a lot. Yeah, we're going to, there's some good interviews that get buried in the whole live. We just said today we'll chop those interviews and put them up as special things because many people don't watch the whole live all the way through. We get good numbers watching the lives. People coming in, even for average ones, if I call anyone average, we get 2,500 on Facebook and maybe 1,500 on YouTube. That's pretty cool. Watching that. Our reach numbers on Facebook are still, we basically sit on 750,000 every 4 weeks. We just hover there. So we've got a pretty cool reach on Facebook and Instagram. Jane plays around with that. And she's always, oh, check this out. We've got 20,000 on that, blah, blah, blah. So quite cool. I'll do the jeepers. I just thought I forgot the Q&A yesterday and the day before because we're so busy. I saw it just before here about an hour ago, but I've got some urgent things to do straight after this. We've got a few things going on. So I've got to do some very urgent emails, and there's an engine update going out and stuff. So I'll try and do it. And then it gets too late for people to watch. But I'll try and do it. It'll happen today. I'll do it tonight. There's not many questions there. I think there's only 12. So I'll do it today. I may even do it straight after. No, I've got to do some emails. Can't. Tapio's video, yeah, it is fantastic. It's really cool. So, and if you haven't seen the teaser for the film, he put it out at the press conference. Have a look at that. It's only 2 minutes, but just to give you an idea of what's going on, the doco is going to be quite something. Rob and I are regularly talking about that at the moment. So we're getting lots of good footage, and there is a very human story there. So please investigate the mosquito update. Okay. Thanks for all the information. Okay, no worries. Thanks, Virgo. Okay, that's it. So we'll see you all again tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in. I press that one, and we got that, and then I can shut it down. See you later.